Hey guys, welcome back. So today I have episode 5 of Curate Your Collection with Me series. For those of you who may not be so familiar with this series on my channel, it is essentially a series where in each episode I take some of your collections and help you curate it down or up according to your lifestyle's needs. So if you have a luxury bag collection where you feel like it could do with a little bit of an editing and curating, then send me an email or an Instagram DM to be featured in one of my episodes. So you don't only get my opinion, but you also get our community's opinion through all of us sharing our thoughts in the comments section below. So it is a super interactive series and I really love doing this. But of course, if this is the very first video of mine you clicked on or you're relatively new to my channel, I would love to have you come back to my channel. So do consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell button so you can be a part of our luxury and fashion loving community. So today we have Juliet's handbag collection to help curate. But before we get into her collection, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm changing the format of this series a little bit. So previously I tried to do one of these episodes about once a month or so and featured 2 collections per video. But from this episode, I'm going to have 2 separate sections per episode. So the first section is going to be featuring one of your collections instead of the 2, but then make this series a little bit more frequent, so maybe 1 episode per fortnight. Then the second section of the episode, I'm gonna make it a handbag Q&A section. I do get a lot of Instagram DMs from you guys asking my opinions on, luxury purchases, what you should get, what I think about certain items, and a lot of the times I get very similar questions. So I thought answering some of these more commonly asked questions might be helpful for you guys. So if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer related to luxury, then leave your questions in the comments below and I'm going to feature your questions in the next episode. But if you do have a more urgent question, of course DM me on Instagram. But I thought I might try this format out because I think it might be a little bit more helpful. So I'm not really doing this series for the views or the gain in subscribers or anything, but I know whoever watches this series is a true fan of this community that we have. So I just love the idea of doing a little Q&A, making it even more interactive and make it a little bit more of a special tighter-knit community within my channel. So speaking of being a little bit more intimate with you guys who watch this series, I just wanted to talk to you about my current handbag collection a little bit before we dive into Juliet's collection, who we're gonna help curate today. So you guys know that I just did my 2021 updated luxury handbag collection video just a few days ago. And in that video, I got a couple of questions about certain bags that I didn't feature. So first of all, some of you guys asked, where is my Fauré Le Page tiny little bag that I got when I was in Melbourne earlier this year? And I'm happy to report that it is still in my collection, but you must have skipped through my video because at the beginning of the video, I do say that I'm not going to include any SLG types of bags or wallet on chains within that video because I regard these small leather goods still that can still be used as handbags if you want, but in my opinion these little wallet on chains and pouches that we use as handbags aren't really of a handbag capacity in terms of what you can fit. So yes, that is why I didn't feature this little guy, but it will be featured in a updated SLG collection that I'll do sometime soon. And one more thing that you guys noticed is that I didn't feature my Chanel Coco handle within my collection video, but you could see that it was sitting at the edge of the bench over there while I was doing the modeling shots for my bags. There is a little bit of a story to this because I noticed that I wasn't really reaching for this bag in the last couple of years. It is a little bit of a serious looking bag and it is a bit of a larger size for a casual bag. So I didn't really have occasions where I would choose this bag. So I actually thought about letting this go, and at the time of filming, I was pretty convinced that I was going to consign this bag. But then you guys know that all of the Chanel price increases have happened, and I've also heard of so many quality issues with some of the newer season Coco handle bags. So at the very last minute after filming that video, I actually decided not to let this go. This is a very, very fresh decision that I'm sharing with you guys. So at the time of filming of my collection video, although it was sitting at the end of the bench, I was pretty sure I was gonna consign this and move it on. As you guys know, I don't like holding onto bags just for the sake of collecting them. I like to be able to use them. I just really don't think I'll be able to buy a Coco handle of this quality anytime soon. So I thought, you know what, in a couple of years, I might change my mind and start using this a little bit more. So I've decided to hold off on that decision to sell this bag. Yeah, so that is what happened. So you guys now know that it is still in my collection. So it's kind of missing from my entire collection video, but it's like a little extra information. Only you guys know my little crew here. So yes, that is the update on my handbag collection. Now let's get into Juliet's collection. She is a working professional in her mid-20s living in Canada, and she is the same height as me, she was telling me, which is really important because sometimes certain size bags suit certain heights differently. She's currently working from home, but I am sure when this whole pandemic thing is better, a lot of us will go back to the office, but that is her current situation. At the moment, she has 13 handbags in her collection. And she also has a few handbags on her wish list. So her collection needs a little bit of editing and curating so that she can maybe get rid of the bags that she's not really using and put those funds towards getting some of her wish list bags. So let me share with you her current collection. Let's quickly go through from the top left. And again, I'm just looking at the photo on my phone at the moment. So from the very top left, we have a vintage Chanel flap bag, which has been handed down to her from her mother. I love that bag. It is so beautiful and unique. And then we have a Chanel medium classic flap in black caviar, and I think it's in the silver hardware. And then we have another vintage pink Chanel tote or hobo style bag that has been handed down to her from her mother again. I just love that her mother is a handbag lover and she's got all these beautiful older bags in her collection, but we'll talk about them a little bit later. Going to the shelf below, we have a Fendi Two Jaws Navy. It is Juliet's oldest handbag. And then we have a red patent leather larger tote bag, and I believe it is a Ferragamo bag that has been handed down from her mother as well. Next shelf, we have another vintage Chanel bag in the navy color, again handed down from her mother, and another black larger Chanel vintage bag from her mother. So they are all of the bags that she has acquired from her mother. Next up, we have a Saint Laurent camera bag in the croc embossed black leather with the silver hardware. And then we have the beautiful Saint Laurent Uptown pouch in the white croc embossed leather with the silver YSL logo. You guys know the YSL Uptown pouch is one of my all-time favorite things. And then we have the Saint Laurent shopping tote in the black. It is a larger tote. And we have the Chanel Jumbo Classic flap in the beige clair. And then last two bags are the Hermes Garden Party in the size 36, I believe. And it is in that color green. And the last bag on here is the Chanel Small Cocoa Handle in pink caviar with, it looks like gold hardware. So we've got these 13 bags. Oh, by the way, Juliet has a luxury Instagram page called Lux by Jules. I'll leave her Instagram handle on screen where she shares some of her luxury items. It is a beautiful page, so check that page out and give her a follow. So before we start culling or curating her collection, let me just share with you some of the bags that are currently on her wish list, and I'm going to put those bags somewhere on screen as well so we can visualize the whole thing. So currently on her wish list, she's got the Dior Mini Lady Dior in a bluish greyish color. But this was about a month ago. I just spoke to Juliet last week and she said she scrapped off that Dior bag her wish list. But with these Lady Dior bags, they tend to come in and out of everyone's wish list. So let's just kind of leave it on her wish list, but it is a maybe item. She's not really considering right this minute. Another bag she's considering is a black Chanel wallet on chain as an easy crossbody bag. And also on her wish list is the Chanel classic flap in the medium size or a small size in the beige clair, as she finds her current jumbo one is a little bit too large for her body frame and for her liking. So that's an easy one. If she ends up getting the medium large or the small beige clair flap, then she should definitely sell her jumbo. No need to have two classic flaps in the same color. And then the last category of bags that she's really lusting after right now is, you know, those crazy mini tiny bags that are super cute. So some of the options she's considering are the Chanel Vanity with chain in that really small cute size, the Fendi peekaboo in the nano charm size with a little chain, and also the Louis Vuitton mini pochette, although that one's always sold out, so she's having a hard time finding one. So you can see a whole overview of her current collection as well as some of the bags that are on her wish list. So with her current collection, she's got a couple of dilemmas that she would love to get your opinions on. So her first dilemma is to do with those vintage bags that she got from her mom. So I've marked those 4 bags on screen. So she's got the 3 Chanel bags and a Ferragamo bag. And out of these 4 bags, she's really starting to grow to love the vintage flap one because she loves how unique it is and it is a little bit more of a practical size for her. But as for the other 3 bags, she just doesn't use them. So her dilemma was whether to just keep them and hopefully she can use them if they come back in style in the next couple of years or even the next 10 years, or just sell them on. But she's really hesitant on selling these because these styles are quite old and they're not, I guess, the in style at the moment. So she found that she'll only be able to get about $500 to $700 per bag if she sold them. So she's not sure whether it will be worth selling them for such a small amount of money. But then I suppose on the other hand, even if she sold the 3 of them for $500 to $700, she can maybe recoup about $2,000 altogether. So it's a little bit of a tricky one. I also wouldn't know what to do, so we need you guys' help. So please do share your opinions in the comments section below. That will greatly help Juliet out. I did already touch on this, but the only other bag that she's considering selling is her beige clad jumbo. Whenever she gets her hands on the smaller version of this color classic flap, then I definitely say let go of that. So if we did end up selling all of those 4 bags in question, then we'll end up with these bags in her collection, which will consist of about 10 handbags. So now let's talk about her current wish list. So for now, the Lady Dior is not part of her wish list anymore because she feels like it's too much of a loud luxury for her. So that is off the list. So next one is the Chanel wallet on chain. So the story with the Chanel wallet on chain is that she feels like it is a really, really nice idea to have something like that as an errand running bag, a very easy, practical crossbody bag. But when she went in to check out that bag in store, she didn't really fall in love with it. Instead, she saw that pink cocoa handle bag that she's got currently in her collection, fell in love with it and purchased that one instead. But the wallet on chain is back on her wish list, and I think it will be a really nice addition to handbag collection as it stands now because she doesn't have anything like that in her collection. So I think there is definitely a place for the Chanel wallet on chain in her collection. And then in terms of the nano bags she's considering, what do you guys think would be the style that most complements her current collection? She's also open to the Fendi peekaboo, not just in that nano size, but in the mini or the small size that can fit a little bit more things. And then she's also considering a Chanel vanity in the smaller one. You guys know how I feel about these bags. If it doesn't fit a phone, then usually for me, it's a no-go. But these are like little novelty bags. So I am even warming up to the idea of these nano bags. They're just so cute. And I also find myself always just holding onto my phone. It's never really in my bag. And a lot of my clothes have pockets. So I find myself just putting the phone in my pocket because I just need to grab it really quickly. So I'm definitely opening up to the idea of these nano bags. I know when I went to Fendi last time, I absolutely love the baguette nano charms. So you can fit little cards and your keys and a little lipstick. I think you can fit those things. So if this nano Fendi peekaboo is anything like that, I think it'll be a super cute thing, and that dainty chain is just adorable. I'm not so sure about the Chanel vanity case because it is still pretty pricey, and for me, I don't find the vanity configuration that easy to use. You guys know that I sold my Chanel phone vanity case with a chain because I find that with the vanity style, how you have to unzip and zip the bag is not so practical. You kind of have to hold the bag and then sort of zip around it. It's not the easiest. And then the mini pochette, I absolutely love my mini pochette, but I do know that it is always sold out. What I want to suggest is I ended up getting a mini pochette ordered. The order list isn't always open, but they will occasionally open it. So I say just if you have a sales associate or if you can make an appointment to go in and meet someone, I think it is definitely worthwhile checking in with them every now and then. And I have to say, even at the current prices that are much higher than what they used to cost, it is definitely worth it because it is still, I believe, around under 600 Australian dollars or Canadian dollars. $50, and it is a cute little SLG that you can use as a handbag, which is still larger than half of these ridiculously small nano bags out there. So I'd say with the mini pochette, it is definitely worth being persistent over. So what do you guys think about Juliet's collection? Don't forget to leave your opinions in the comment section. Now onto a quick luxury Q&A section. I've got a few questions I wanted to answer in this episode. So the first question is regarding the Cartier Just Include versus Love bracelet in the small size. Quite a number of you DM'd me on Instagram asking me if you could only buy one to begin with out of the two smaller sizes, which will be my choice. So I'm wearing both of them and I usually stack them together. So let me just quickly show you them on me. So I've got the Just Include in the small, they're both in the rose gold here with the tiny little diamonds. And then I've also got my Thin Love bracelet in the rose gold. And I actually bought them at the same time, but I initially planned to buy one at a time and I was just gonna buy the Just Include first. So it just really depends on your lifestyle. The reason why I thought I would only get the Just Include first is because of the ease of putting it on and taking it off. As you guys know, I can't really wear jewelry around my wrists for my day job because I work in healthcare. But then since then, I started just leaving the Love bracelet on and just wearing it all the time because we do wear disposable gowns that come all the way down to the wrist. So now I just leave my Love bracelet on. But up until the pandemic, we only wore scrubs and our arms were bare. So I didn't ever wear a bracelet for work. So if you work in a job where it's hard to leave jewelry on your wrist, or if you're someone who doesn't like having any jewelry on your arms 24/7, then I definitely say go for the Just Include because it is so easy to take off. It's just a twist thing. And that's the other question that I get with the constant twisting, untwisting. How is the Just Include bracelet holding up? As you can see, it is holding up completely fine. It is not misshapen at all. And I put this on and take this off all the time. And it's almost been a year since I bought this. So absolutely love this one. And I just wanted to show you what the bracelet looks like on its own. So if you just were to buy one Just Include small bracelet on its own, I think it looks absolutely beautiful still. But I have to say, occasionally, the tip of the Just Include bracelet will catch on to things when you're putting sweaters on and things like that. So if you're someone who wants something completely carefree and you don't mind having a bracelet that leaves on your wrist the whole time, then I'd say the Love bracelet is definitely a bit more comfortable to wear and you can just put it on and forget about it. So it really depends. I'm sorry, this is probably not really helpful. I can't really tell you one is better than the other because of the reasons that I talked about. But yes, that's what I would do. I'd consider what is important to me. The second question is regarding the Fauré Le Page zipped tote in the size 32. Apparently on the website it tells you the base width, but it doesn't tell you how wide the bag is up top. So I wanted to share with you how long that is. So I've got my tape measure here. The top of the bag is about 45 centimeters. Can you see there? I hope it's focusing. And let me check that in inches. That is 17.5 inches. So there you go. And if I were to compare this to a Neverfull, because a lot of people are actually really familiar with the Neverfull bag from Louis Vuitton, let me measure how long the top of the Neverfull bag is. It is 47 centimeters, which is about 18 and a little bit inches. So I suppose the top of the Neverfull bag is slightly wider than the zipped tote from Fauré Le Page. So I say pretty comparable, but the zip tote in the 32 is slightly wider. And I also had a couple of requests to review the Fauré Le Page zipped tote, since a few of you are considering this one, but you can't find it in reviews and you're not buying one without seeing a review video. I'm not sure whether I'll do a whole dedicated video, but in a nutshell, I absolutely recommend this bag because I find it very, very sturdy. I've used this on a few interstate trips already and I haven't really used it for work yet because I'm happy to use my daily battle tote in the Paris blue one. But I find the zip tote a lot more sturdy than the other tote without the zip. The other thing is the canvas has a little bit of a reinforced padding on the inside, so it's actually quite cushiony and it holds itself up really, really well. So if that's something that you prefer, which I actually prefer because it just stands on its own, it doesn't flop down for you to have to hold the bag out and look for things in there. So I do find that really, really helpful. And the other thing that I love is the interior pockets. You've got a large slip pocket there and two smaller slip pockets. So it still has some sort of organizational features in there. The straps are completely adjustable and I just absolutely love the reinforced corners. So yeah, I say definitely go for it. The next question is regarding the Chanel mini bags. So I'm going to read out the question. Wondering your opinion, I already have a Chanel mini square in black and a medium classic flat pin black as well. I might like to add either a grey or beige or white classic flap. Not sure what color shall I pick as well. If I shall go to wallet on chain, mini rectangular or classic in small or medium size. What are your thoughts? What color do you think is most versatile? Thanks in advance. Thank you so much for asking this question. So we've already got two black Chanel bags, one in the medium classic flap and one in square mini. And you want to add another Chanel flap style bag in a lighter neutral, so grey, beige or white. So we need to work out which color will be most versatile as well as what sort of a size and style would be the best as an addition to your existing collection. In terms of the color, I think it really comes down to the types of clothing that you wear. And also I think we need to know a little bit more about your collection as well. So what is actually missing in your collection? Do you have another bag in a grey, beige or white? Also, are you really afraid of color transfer? So if you're really worried about color transfer, I'll probably not go with the white one. Although white I find will be the most versatile. It pretty much goes with any outfit you wear. So which is more important? I love white bags and it hardly clashes with anything. So that would be a good option. But if you're really worried, then you'd probably have to pick between the grey and the beige. They're still lighter colors. So I find that you still will probably need to be careful. But if you tend to wear more warm toned clothing, then I'd say the beige will be more versatile in your closet. But if you wear a lot of cool toned clothing, lots of blues, that sort of thing, then the grey will work better in your wardrobe. So the color will really depend on that. But if you just want something that will go with everything, I think the white would be the best. And then in terms of the style, you're considering between the wallet on chain, mini rectangular, or small or medium classic flap. I probably decide between the wallet on chain and the mini rectangular because you already have a medium classic flap. So I wouldn't necessarily want to add another classic flap, especially with the current prices after the last price increase as well. So I think that a good in between would be a mini rectangular. I know you already have the square mini, but the rectangular mini looks completely different in my opinion, and it looks more similar to a small classic flap. So that might be the best option for you. If it was up to me and I was deciding between the wallet on chain and the rectangular flap, then I would personally pay a bit of extra and get the rectangular flap. But then again, it also depends on what you prefer. So if you're a very wallet on chain person, very minimal, that might work out better for you. But if it was up to me, I'd probably get the white in the rectangular mini classic flap. The other option that you can consider is if you want a little bit of variety in your collection, you can consider something like my mini with the top handle. So it is the exact same size as the rectangular mini, but it's a bit of a different bag as well. Since you already have the square mini and also a classic in the medium, a mini rectangular with the top handle might be something that will vary your collection. And of course you can consider these neutral colors for this silhouette as well. So good luck with the decision, babe, but they are my thoughts. So these are all of the questions and answers that I'm featuring for this episode. If you have any luxury related questions that you'd like answered in one of my episodes, don't forget to leave them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you missed any of my previous episodes, I'm going to leave the playlist of all of the previous episodes on screen and also another video on screen as well. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending some of your precious time with me today. And I can't wait to see you again soon in my next video. Bye guys.